Bigfoot with a fan. And that's what we did. We went out together, and it's like 12 investigations later. He won't leave. Do you know how to get rid of him? So what the hell's going on here? I left you alone for 1 second.
Podcast here, sir.
Yeah, I left you alone for 1 second. You take the show over, goddammit. Saying, the best I can think of is tweakers are out in the woods making tree structures. That's what what you meant.
You know, it damn sure wasn't a bunch of Boy Scouts. I told you that.
Suddenly go blowing that way.
Right.
You guys will know.
Yeah.
Well, red alert. The producer's here. Bobby Lee.
These millionaires don't know what Prime is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are these lowly people drinking?
You know, something like Dog Man, right? And I have no dog in the fight, so to speak.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Banter with Richie B podcast, baby. We are live and happening on the Get Haunted Network. Check us out. If you don't know what Get Haunted is, then you've been probably living under a rock or in a cave or somewhere up in Canada where Dale lives. Yeah. Oh, did I say Dale? I meant Dale Quigley. He's my guest tonight. In case you haven't heard, pay attention. Just kidding. I've had like 82 energy drinks today, so you never know what might happen. So, hey, check it out, man. Obviously, Dale Quigley is my guest tonight, our guest tonight, because I have a co-host. In case you haven't paid attention, sheesh, it's this guy right here, Squirtle. Nah, just kidding. It's really not. I'm just glad I got Squirtle. I love Squirtle. I don't know why I like that stupid thing. So, let's bring Squirrel to the stage.
Let's get it going. Boom! Yeah. How are y'all doing today?
Oh God, what are you doing? You all right? Good Lord, guy, put down the coffee.
Dude, I don't know. You woke me up from a nap and I'm erupted. I'm ready to rock and roll.
I got it. It's okay. Yeah, you're awake. Listen, we've been, ever since we set up, just so you know, I'm going to do a disclaimer right now. Ever since I set up the new studio, I've been having trouble. As you know, we've been testing different internets, things like that. So if I go out, Wojo's going to run the show. I'll be back. That's all I can say. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying, man. I got a kick-ass friggin' studio. I know that. Look at the dude behind me, man. Right? Look at that. That's the background on this ginormous green screen that I have.
Yeah,
it's a long way from a dude at a table and like hallway. Right? Yeah, we haven't given him a name, right? I think it's called Groovy Fit Bigfoot or something. But that's how you put it in AI and all that stuff. Whatever. We'll just fucking name him like Bob. What's up, Bob?
How do you spell your name?
Bob the Bigfoot. Bob. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, Bob. What is it?
We should call him Dale.
Groovy Lo-Fi Bigfoot? Oh, Groovy Lo-Fi. So we'll call him Lo-Fi. That's his name. Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi's in the heyday. Yeah, you can hear my 1-year-old over there screaming. He's pissed off at the world. Can you hear him? Can you hear little baby Josh yelling? Huh?
So much for the sound.
Apparently you got
so much for the soundproof.
I'm not there yet. The soundproofing has not come in yet. I still have this to do and that up there to do, and then we'll work our way towards that. Right now, I'm worried about the internet shit. That's the stuff, because I'm in the corner of the house, and the internet's over there. You know what I mean? So I got another stack I tried, and it just was shit. So I got to get another one, another company. I got to fire them. It was a 30-day trial. So I got to fire them and then bring in another one and put the tower right next to me and run off my Ethernet. Because I want it to be like a TV channel where we just like skipping right through everything. You know what I mean? So let's say hi to our friends over here, and then we'll bring up our guest. Is that cool with you?
That sounds groovy, baby. Yeah? Let's go.
All right, cool. And all the stuff I did today, dude. I had my list of people for the drawing for this week, and
Awesome.
it's all I don't even know where it is. I screwed everything up because that's all I did was try to like troubleshoot all day. So Henry was the first one here, so he wins. We don't know what he wins. He already won something. He's waiting on his book still. He said, "Damian Smith, what is up?" Edo. Where's he from, Mojo? Mojo likes to say where
He's from Edinburgh, Scotland. You gotta teach him a trick. I'll tell you, watching his stuff, man, he's been bringing it on his side of the world on Facebook. It's awesome. Hey, Tim Boyle, how you doing, buddy?
He's everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
Tinfoil likes it when it's Wojo time. So that Tinfoil's your boy. So Derek, hello, Derek.
How you doing, Derek?
Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
Bonnie,
you.
how
If
you
you're
doing?
like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Wait, D-Hoot's here.
Yeah, hey,
The D-Hoot's in the hizzy. So check out, right? Now we got Tinfoil just making up new names for our show. Right, so if I get kicked, it's Wojo. Yeah. Yeah. So Lo-Fi is his name, is the Bigfoot behind me. What's up, Lo-Fi? So a couple of things before we get rolling with our guest, okay? Tomorrow night we're looking to go out and do like a little dusk investigation, right? We're just gonna try to sample out some kind of towards the nighttime stuff. Eventually we're gonna be doing straight up nighttime. You know what I mean? We're gonna be out there, infrared cameras, the whole 9 yards. Just sitting and listening, man. I think at nighttime we do a lot of listening, right? Here's one of our crew members right here, Lisa Garcia's in there. What's up, Lisa? Hello,
Lisa?
And welcome to the show. So I think next week what we're going to do, for our show, I want to get the 3 newest people of Boots on the Ground Bigfoot Investigations to come in and talk about their investigation. Not Lisa's first, but first as a group. I know it's first with Swanee, first with Barnard, and have them all come on the show and just tell you what they saw and what, unedited, their own version of what they saw with their own words, and just talk. She's watching from the woods in Plymouth, so she must be camping. So
hey, Sam did make
Paranormal's here. Welcome, Sam, to the show. That's our new. Every time somebody comes in, we'll just sing it. You know what I mean? So Jenny Davis. Hello, Jenny Davis.
Hello, Jenny.
We'll do that.
She's on her way to New York. New York.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jenny. Sorry to hear that.
She's coming to Boston.
Yes.
Never mind New York.
Yeah, smaller toilet. You should come to the smaller toilet, not the big toilet. You know what I mean? A toilet, nonetheless, James. If you're in upstate, you're good, right? Oh, Kerry Lynn's here. Everybody, Kerry Lynn Shellhorn is here.
Hi, Kerry
Make sure
Lynn.
you like and subscribe to her page. She's an incredible medium, and she has an amazing show that we will be on August 16th, I believe is the date, as I just shoot off the hip with it. Woo! Right?
She's an absolute gift.
Oh, we didn't sing it. Hello, Kerry Lynn. Welcome to the show. There we go.
Welcome to the show with the Kerry Lynn
Try only two. Oh, he froze. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do the horrible singing. You're horribler. All right. Listen, we got Del Quigley here, and he has his the horrible alert, and he has his headset on like he's flying a plane, right? So we want to show that he doesn't just fly around. We want to reel him in and get him to land on the show because he's got hello Dale. You got a copy? L575659er. Something like that, all right? There we go. Are you ready? You want to bring Dale in or no? Where's your facial expression? Did you freeze or something? I know. I'm already going to have internet issues. I already can smell it. It's okay. It's the new moon. It's that moon. Where is he? Look at. He's blacked out. Oh, there he is.
There I am.
Are you in a sandpiper?
Am I in a
Are
sand
you in a
parlor?
sandpiper? What are you flying, sir?
I nothing but
Yeah,
a
I think you're
vision
flying.
jet. That's what I'd be flying as a vision jet.
I think he's wearing a football
Does your
helmet from
internet
the
reach
Calgary
outside?
Stampeders.
What's that?
I think his internet.
Oh, my internet
Courtney's
is
here.
fine.
You-
You're
you're doing
got all
one of
that
these.
Bigfoot experience going on.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's always my fault. You ever notice that? It's always the show host's fault.
Absolutely,
That thing's
brother.
sick, man.
That,
Look at everybody.
that's-
Hi, Dale. Hi. Look out.
These are all the ladies. Hey, Dale.
Dale's
Hey.
Richie, don't be jealous, man. Just accept the fact that I'm just a little bit more cuter than you are. Not by much. Just having to be on the screen between you and Wojo. It's like I have to give up looks to Wojo, though. He's prettier than I am.
Oh, Richie, where is the pond?
We've just beat ourselves up. I will not stand up. I'll tell you that much. So, Future Ghost Paranormal in New Jersey. Hello, everyone.
Hey, hello, Future.
How's that? Pretty good.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready to rumble. So, Dale Quigley with an E, I might add. Dale does have an E in his last name. My show doesn't think so. We think you should not have an E, and we tell you how you spell your last name going forward. All right? Good.
Absolutely, Richie. Any way you want to spell it is fine with me. Hey, I don't mind changing my identity. It keeps me out of the limelight that way.
I like it. I like it. Now listen, you are co-host of the Paranormal Voice.
Absolutely, sir.
Right? That's just
friend,
one.
My longtime friend since grade 5, Michael John.
Wow, grade 5. That long.
Michael freaking John. Hashtag grateful, blessed, thankful.
Absolutely.
Love you, Michael John. I was close.
And every day I get to work alongside that guy, I am truly blessed.
Yeah, Michael John's
he's an awesome
guy.
Dude,
great
we love him.
host.
Yep, and we had him on the show, and he was an outstanding guest as usual. Like, no surprise, right? Like, both of you guys are so experienced at this stuff, man.
Well, well, we just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary as the Paranormal Voice, as we debuted it about 3 years ago. And I mean, it has been nothing but a true exciting roller coaster ride. It's been fun. And I'm so glad that I jumped into this because it put me outside of my comfort zone by leaps and bounds. Because in all actuality, in real life, I am a very shy person. So putting myself in front of an audience worldwide was a very scary thing for me to do, because I'm just one of those people that go, what if people really don't want to hear what I have to say? But I'll tell you, it's been totally different. The reception, the people that I've met while doing this has been outstanding, and I'm truly blessed to be able to have some very dear friends, including the 2 gentlemen here on the screen, very much so. Like I said, the being part of the Get Haunted family was absolute blessing. Like I said, Rob and Sarah over there doing fantastic work, and like I said, it's been an absolute journey, and I would not change it for the world, because sky's the limit. And like I said, we've been very blessed to be able to be on the paranormal circuit for the last 2.5 years. And I'll tell you, going to conventions and everything has been an absolute riot. I struggle with it because I suffer from anxiety. So being in large crowds freaks the shit out of me. And but when I've got Michael John by my side, it makes it that much easier, because I piggyback off of his enthusiasm, his momentum, And I mean, he's used to wrestling in front of people in just his underwear. So if a guy could do that, he could talk to about anybody.
Well, Richie wears mosquitoes out in the woods, so we can all relate. But yeah, I mean, Michael John was a wrestler, and you know, it must have been pretty cool to go to the matches and just cheer on your friend. You know.
Oh, absolutely! Like I mean,
did you see?
For years and years and years, it was always one of those. I always, it was kind of weird going to the shows and watching him do his thing and live out his passion and his dream of being a professional wrestler. So it was always exciting, and even to this day, like I mean, the community that we live in, like he is a big name around here, so he can't go anywhere without people shouting out his name in public or wherever we go. It's like people, hey, look, it's Irish Bobby Clancy, and it's still cool to this day, and I'm so happy for him. And coming up August 31st, we have a new wrestling company that's coming through the area called NCG. Michael John's going to be a part of that show, so I'll be down there once again. Being a proud co-host and watching him, he's not going to be wrestling. Not that I know of, because he won't tell me what he's doing. But I really don't think he'll be wrestling. But he's going to be. He'll be a small part of. He'll be a part of the event, so it'll be nice to see people pay homage to him, because, like I said, around here the indie scene was pretty huge, and Michael John was actually a big name around here. There's a book that just came out, and he's actually a part of the chapter of this wrestling book about the history in Windsor here.
Hey, Richie, Dale went to Money in the Bank. He got to see John Cena, our very own boy from Massachusetts. Well, he said he's retiring, but that's kind of cool up in Canada.
Oh yeah. That was that. Me and my youngest son.
That's cool.
Thing.
Look at Richie. You can't see me.
No, it's really cool. Me and my son get to go around quite a bit and see all the different pay-per-views and stuff like that. That's something me and my youngest son have in common, is we're both big wrestling fans. I've been a wrestling fan since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Awesome. Same here. And Richie's going to tell the internet people,
knee-high to a
fire.
Oh my God. It's weird because you guys are fine with each other, right? Am I the one having the issue? Because I'm having a little bit of a delay. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Gio. So first of all, Mary Newbert, I just want to say I love you and happy birthday and happy wedding anniversary to you. Thank you so much for always supporting me. Yep. Oh, that girl, man. When I was reckless and on the streets, yeah, Mary saved me many times. Just so you all know. Let me see.
God,
everybody
you
hear me
much,
okay?
Mary, for saving our little
check
Richie.
1 2 check.
Hey Russ, what's up, buddy?
So hey, Wojo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep. All
right, I'm going to step out of the studio for a minute and come back in, all right?
All right, come right back, Rich. Hopefully,
did you hear what I said?
Square away. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. I enjoyed the interview with you as well. Sam's pretty paranormal. I mean, what an amazing person she is, and what a go-getter. I just love the fact that she's doing what she's doing out there.
Yeah, Dale, she comes out with us a lot too on our live podcasts.
That's cool.
And man, she brings it, and she's such an amazing woman too. And I've been seeing some of her work on her Facebook. So Sam's an actress, and she's also producing, and it's really cool stuff. And I'm glad that she's here, because I didn't think she was going to make it.
Absolutely.
You
know what? I'm always for people out there like following their passions, follow something that truly inspires them to be. And really with the podcasting, that's truly where I've been truly inspired, is to to up the level of what I'm doing each and every week because I mean, it's fun. I love doing it, and I love talking to different people in different areas, and just picking people's brains because, I mean, I've been in the paranormal field for over 10 plus years, investigating, and I always enjoy watching people who do their investigations. Now, watching what you and Richie are doing, I love that so much because I mean, I've never been Bigfoot hunting before, but I mean, watching what you guys are doing, it's like it's like being right there with you guys, watching you guys go through the trenches and all the different things that are happening around you guys. And I mean, that is so awesome. That is so groundbreaking. I mean, that is truly awesome that what you guys are doing because I love it.
Well, thanks. It's a lot of work, and yes, there's been several times that we've been in the trench itself. One of my investigations, I went face first in the mud. I was trying to step over a large trench, believe it or not, of mud, and I slipped and spiked my face. And poor Richie's like, "Oh my god!" And just last week, a last investigation, Richie decided to take a tumble himself. So yes, we try to work hard out there, but we get our bumps and bruises. But on my first investigation, that when first Richie brought me out, he invited me to go to Western Mass. I was actually telling him on the Get Haunted Network, watching you and Michael John was really like one of my first podcasts I watched. And I'm like, man, I go, these two are cool. I go, I love what they bring and the interest and everything. And
Thank you.
Richie's like, oh, you've been watching those guys? I go, yeah. I go, I never really watched podcasts that much and what have you. But when it comes to the paranormal and about the aliens and things like that, you guys like really bring in, you have like good guests, and you guys have great personal stories.
No, well, I appreciate that for one. Absolutely. I mean, me and Michael John, I mean, like I said, we've been friends since the 5th grade. So, like, a lot of experiences happened. And I mean, it was Michael John that really got me into paranormal investigations itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was always the guy watching the shows like Ghost Hunters and Paranormal State, which was one of my favorite shows of all times. And I was watching Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was always fun watching it on TV, and because of the things that happened to me when I was very very young, I never knew what like I saw these guys, but I never thought like normal people like myself did paranormal investigation. I just thought that was a TV thing.
Right.
And then Michael John one day just calls me up, and Michael John has always thought outside the box most of his life, and he calls me up one day and he's like, "Dude, you'll never guess what I'm doing." I was like, "Ooh, I don't know," because like I said, Michael John's always thinking outside the box, always doing something different. And he goes, "I'm a paranormal investigator." I was like, "What the hell is a paranormal investigator?" He goes, "Oh, we go into haunted locations and we look for for ghosts." And I was like on TV, and he was like, "Yeah." And so he invited me out on my very first paranormal investigation with the group that he was with, and it was like it was a bug. It was just something clicked inside of me to say, yeah, this is something I really love, and I felt comfortable. I felt at home about it, and it just really just led me down the path. Going now, maybe through this, I can find out the answers to what happened to me when I was a very young child. I could tell you the story real quick if you guys want to hear that.
Absolutely.
So when I was about 8 years old, I lost a family member, and I remember being in my room. I was in my bed, and it was very late at night, and it was like one of those, was I asleep, was I not asleep? But anyways, this family member came to me, and I remember him standing in my doorway, And I was talking to him, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "I've come to say goodbye." And I said, "Okay, well, where are you going?" He goes, "Well, I'm not sure." I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you ever coming back?" And he goes, "I don't know." And at that very moment, I remember him turning around and walking down this little hallway in the apartment that I was living with my mother. And I got out of bed and I walked to my doorway. By the time I got to my doorway, he was gone. And I was just like, okay. And, that's where my wheels start spinning. And I was like, is this. Well, then I just happened to step in a puddle of water that was in my doorway.
Oh, wow.
So the significance of the water in my doorway was that this family member had actually drowned, and that's how he passed
Oh,
away.
wow.
So that was the sign that he was really there. And
That's incredible.
I often question is like, how is that possible? I mean, I thought of every logical thought back then of how can water end up on the floor? Like, there's no pipes. There's no this is the doorway. So there was nothing. There shouldn't have been any water there to begin with. So yeah, that was my very first knowledgeable and memorable experience into the paranormal. Now,
Right.
moving all these years later, I've actually realized that even as a child, a young child, I remember seeing shadow figures in my bedroom, and this all came about I want to say about maybe 2 years ago now. A good friend of mine, of ours, me and Michael John, Mary Bassett, who works with MUFON, but she also works with people that have PTSD and all that. So she does regression sessions. So me and Michael John had something that happened to us a couple years ago now, and so I kind of wanted to get back to find out what it was. So she agreed to put me in a regression, and through the regression, I remember seeing these figures in my room when I was a little kid. I couldn't see them; they were there, and she kind of helped me understand that this has been a part of my life a lot longer than the incident where I can actually remember the very first time that I
Right.
had an entity visit me, and it's just kind of the experiences of just snowballed from there,
Yeah.
and then the journeys, like I said, the journey to the paranormal, I really got into investigating every little place that would let me in through the doors. Every time I knew somebody was going on a ghost hunt, I was like, I always asked to be there because it would help me understand what it is that I deal with and go through. But I truly love my life. I'm very proud to say that I'm a weirdo, and I wear that with a badge of honor. I know
Yes,
at one
sir.
time,
Me too.
A weirdo.
I know at one time being a weirdo was a bad thing, but now it's like being a weirdo is the greatest thing on earth.
Dale,
Well,
quickly.
to all the folks out there, just want you to know that we had technical difficulties, but coming back is the host of the show, Richie B. All right, Rich, welcome back.
I guess I'm the part-time host apparently. So, but we'll deal with them on Monday morning. Oh, sorry. No, seriously. Two things. One, what type of entity did you experience when you went back? Was it male, female, light, dark, relative? Like, what do you remember that during doing that?
The one that I had when I was a very young child, the shadows. No, they were actually, as far as I can remember, and what I've got out of my regression, they were they were a neutral gender. They weren't male or female. They were just shadows. And I mean, I'm sure they were something, but they all looked the same to me, so it was hard to even determine what they were. I just remember these small people in the dark just moving around and always staring at me, and it was it was always one of those that made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you have you had that experience as you've grown into adulthood or teenager or anything like that?
Oh, I get shadow people all the time. I get people that come through and try to visit me all the time and try to give me messages, and I welcome everything, you know. Every night before I go to bed, there's usually three things that I say. One, I welcome my ancestors to come in and give me any answers that I need to the questions that I have. Two, I always ask if there's anybody out there that needs some help. You can come and visit me, and I will try to help you as much as I can. And then three, I just blessed that I had a great day and that I get to wake up all over again and do it again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Now, when's the last time you went on a ghost hunt? Say.
The last time I actually went on a ghost hunt was last November. I believe it was November 15th. Me and 15 of the best paranormal investigators, we all went over and investigated Ohio State Reformatory right up in Mansfield, Ohio. One of my all-time dream bucket locations. And for those that don't know, the Ohio State Reformatory was the movie set for the Shawshank Redemption. So it was an absolute amazing place to investigate. The activity we got that night and the experiences, everybody experienced something. And it was unique, and it was a lot of fun. So the most exciting part of the thing. So there was myself, there was Tim Shaw, there was Frank Kupka, there was Heather, and then there was my son, who was with. Well, there was more people than that, but we did. So my buddy Frank Kupka is a former corrections officer for the prison system. So he wanted to do a reenactment while we were at the prison. So he brought his handcuffs, he brought his prison uniform.
Wow.
And so we did up this whole thing. So he was going to play the part of the criminal, because just being a part of the corrections institution, he kind of knows how they acted. So put him in handcuffs and everything, let him down the hallway in solitary confinement inside OSR. So we're walking down, and he's in full-blown character. And at first, it kind of threw me off because it was like I wasn't really sure on what to expect. But he's like sitting there, and he's like, "Get me out of these effing handcuffs! I'm gonna kill all you!" And he was calling us every name in the book. And we're like, "Calm down, prisoner! Calm down!" And we're walking around. Now we're walking down, but at the same time, you kind of feel like through the bars there was eyes watching you. It's like something was watching you. So we get to this one area.
Oh man!
We put him inside the cell. We close the door, and then he starts going off, and he's acting like a person. He's like, "I'm gonna kill every one of you MFers, and we're gonna." And he goes, "This is my block now, and you guys are all my." And he was saying the B word.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the spirit box just lit up. It was telling him, "No, F you. This is our block. No, we're going to get you. No, just effing kill you." And I was like, wow. And we had one of those K2 meters there, and it was just off the chain. It was like full-blown energy. And Frank's just going off. Yeah. We're like, "Calm down, prisoner. You're never going to get out of there." And he's like, "F you." And then Tim Shaw at one point turned around and he goes, "How many are you?" And through the spirit box, it said 20. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, "Oh, we're screwed. We're dead. Here we go. I'm about to get my ass whooped by an entity."
Yeah.
So
that's the B word, and we all know the B word stands for bacon.
Absolutely, we were all in deep bacon. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it was
20 people.
truly an amazing experience on being around different
That's awesome.
investigators and how things go off and stuff like that. So, yes, OSR was my last investigation. Not done any in 2024, but I always plan on doing at least one paranormal investigation a year now. I mean, leaving, being super busy doing the Paracons and doing the paranormal podcasts. Like I said, it's my days are full, and I love every second of it because this is what I wished for a long time ago.
Well, absolutely. And I don't know if I'm delayed or not, but one of the
Slightly
things
delayed,
that you've done, yeah, I figured as much. Because why not, right? Before I have any more technical difficulties, if you don't mind, Dale, I'd like to bring up the foundation that you've obviously have poured your heart into, and so graciously invited Wojo and I to be on and try to promote and help. We have a video from that. I'm going to attempt to play it while I still have some kind of internet, and then I would like to talk a little more about Shaylee and her family, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you hear me all right, Dale?
I can hear you just fine, brother.
Yep.
Dale. It's just weird. I get a wicked lag. We just did a whole test on a whole different live before I even came on, and all of a sudden I get on and everything's like
It's
Mo Larry fucking Curly over here. Like, what the is going on?
What?
Deepest
Welcome to technology, and two, see, you probably interfered with the Bigfoot one too many times. Now he's coming to mess with your equipment. You go mess with his house, he's coming to mess with your house.
Now he's messing with my shit. All right, so listen. I'm gonna attempt to play the video, and hopefully everything goes well. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hang on, stand by. Is that going on? I can't get anything to work.
Going on. I'm just staring at two beautiful guys over here.
Nope, not sharing anything.
Well, between now and then, if it comes on,
I can't get anything to even come on. I think it's StreamYard, to be honest with you.
Oh, there he goes again.
Yep.
So, I mean, here, let me see if I can actually pull up the video on my end. I might still have it in my video files.
While you're doing that, Dale, so folks, Shaylee, is it Clace? How do you
Class,
say
yep.
the last name?
Class. Yep.
Shaylee is a young girl who she has cancer, and Dale here has been friends with the Clay family for a long time. Yeah. And go ahead, Dale. Why don't you say the rest?
So Dan Class, who everybody knows is the owner of the Hinsdale House up there in Hinsdale, New York. Also, one of the investigators on the show Ghost Finders, seen on Paraflex. Dan has been a good friend of mine now since we went to. Well, I met Dan at a couple of the conventions. And then back in 2018, we actually went up and investigated the Hinsdale House, where to date is I say that the Hinsdale investigation is the investigation that changed me altogether, because I had a really profound experience there. One that shook me to my core, and it took me a long time to talk about it. I'll talk about that story a little bit later on if you guys want to hear about it. But so getting back to Shaylee, so Dan, probably just a little over about a month, maybe 2 months at this point now, got on to his socials, and he announced to the world that his daughter, Shaylee, 13 years old, was dealing with, I think it's called osteocoma cancer, which is a
Oh,
type
yeah.
of bone cancer. Very, very, it's like any other cancer. It can be devastating. So when he got on live and he was telling everybody that his daughter was dealing with this, it made me sick to my stomach at first, because here I am. I'm thinking, like, how can a nice little girl like Shaylee have to deal with going through cancer? So, and then I started seeing a lot of paranormal teams out in the thing. They were starting to come together to do like paranormal investigations to raise money to help offset the cost of the cancer treatments that the family has to go through. Now, being in Canada, our obviously our healthcare system's a little bit different than the United States.
Right.
But just talking to some people over there, I kind of got a little bit of a tidbit of how much this could actually cost. And
Yeah.
so, with people coming together to do fundraisings for Dan, and then there was a GoFundMe page that was started, I kind of felt like, everything about me and how cancer has affected me and my family. I I said I had to do something, so I kind of went to bed. And in my vision, it came to me to do like I remember back in the days of the Jerry Lewis telethon
Yeah.
during Easter time, and doing it was so I that kind of kicked into my head, and so I reached out to Bill Fort, the producer of KGRA, where you can find our show also is on KGRA. Uh, um, I talked to Bill and I said, Bill, I've got this idea and I just wonder if KGRA would be interested in being a part of this. And when I told him the story about Shaylee and Dan and everything, he goes, absolutely. He goes, what do you need me to do? I said, I'm just looking for some time on the network to bring together some paranormal people. I'm going to reach out to as many paranormal people that I know out in the community. I said there's a lot of great people. I think if we all come together, we can we can do something for this
All right.
this 13-year-old girl. And he goes, absolutely. So I started to put out messages. I started to everybody that I know. And the response was an overwhelming yes. And it came together quite easily because, like I said, everybody seemed to be on board and with helping this fantastic 13-year-old girl fight her fight, and to know that she is not alone, that she has a whole community behind her to help her kick this thing in the ass. Because it is
Amen.
devastating, and as a parent as well,
Yeah.
like talking to Dan a few times, like I said, just as a parent, feeling so helpless, not knowing what you can do for your child when they're fighting, but you have to be strong for them. So
Yeah.
it was a natural fit. I was so blessed that so many amazing people came together. I mean, you and Richie came on. I had Sarah, and Rob from Get Haunted on, and I'll tell you, as well as I had Jeff Belanger, who was the researcher for every single episode of Ghost Adventures, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff and I are good friends as well, and then I had Dustin Perry.
And time out. Jeff Belanger is of the Bridgewater Triangle fame as well, correct?
He possibly
same
could
guy?
be. He does live in Massachusetts, so I mean it's very well. He's probably very knowledgeable of the Bridgewater Triangle as well.
And all right, I'm gonna look up. And Dustin, you said as well, was there?
Dustin Perry, who is from Ghost Hunters, originally from Ghost Hunters International. He is known as the paranormal rock star. I love Dustin to death. He is the most inspiring guy that I have the opportunity to follow and get to talk to and call him a very good friend myself. he is just truly amazing. For people that don't know Dustin, like, get out, you got to see this guy speak, because he's absolutely amazing. And of course, the highlight of the whole thing was having, of course, Dan Class being a part of it, but we had Andrea Perrin and Exie Bruce, Suzanne Smith, and of course, we all love Andrea so much, and it was so amazing to have her come out and be a part of this, and to share her energy into everything we were doing. Like I said, it was an absolute honor, and I was very thankful that Dan was also on board of this going on. And like I said, he's been truly feeling the love and the support of the paranormal community. And then so I reached out to Rob Stakowitz, and Rob has always blown me away with the videos that he puts together for different events that Get Haunted does. And I asked him, I'm like, I said, Rob, by any chance, is there any way you could do this video for this 13-year-old girl that's been diagnosed with cancer?
Right.
And he goes, absolutely. And what he came up with, he sent it to me,
job.
and I
have it.
I was bawling like a little girl, and every time I see it, I bawl, because it is so beautifully put together. Rob Stakowitz did an amazing job.
Yeah, you did.
And yeah, I love that video. It is so, it's filled with so much energy and emotion, and I'm so glad that it came out the way that it did. But I had no doubts, because whatever Rob does and puts his mind to, he comes out and it's spectacular.
Absolutely, and I have that video here. And Jeff is definitely the one that I'm thinking of. He has Weird Massachusetts, a few other things about the New England area, and then I know he contributed to the Bridgewater Triangle in numerous ways. I've seen him on little shorts as far as like different channels and stuff goes. But
Nice.
But if you don't mind, if you have your tissues ready, Deal, I would love that video that Rob made, and that you requested for him to make. You're a magical human and doing wonderful things for the family. And so we're going to play the video if everybody just kind of sits back and just takes it, okay?
Absolutely.
Who's the one who can rise above? Take a chance, do it all for love and no regrets. Up ahead there's an open door, and I gotta find what I'm looking for, and I'm on my way. Well, time moves on and the days go by, but the sun don't set on the stars tonight, and I spread my wings. My head's in the clouds with my feet on the ground, my aim held high and I'm moving on. My time is now to make all my dreams come true, to let all the light shine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Dale, you've done a wonderful job running the fundraiser, and I could tell you were just like exhausted and drawn out, but you know what, though, it was obviously well worth it. You did a fantastic job, and I really applaud you, because you know, people like yourself, you know, you're a good friend, and you know what, God bless you for what you did.
Thank you.
Continue to do.
Truly, yes. No, the fight has not stopped. That's
No.
The show may be over, the event might be over, but I'll tell you, the fight for this little girl is going to go every day, every minute, every hour. People can head over to the GoFundMe page, donate to her, donate to the family. Also, a good friend of mine, Craig, who runs a company called Rescue Dogs. It's Rescue RE. Let me try to
Rescue Dogs
RES
DAWGZ, right?
GZ.com, and you can pick up one of those Shaley Strong Like Shaley t-shirts that he's created and putting out there. He's also got his own coffee brand out there. So he's actually got the Shaley symbol that is on the coffee itself. So you can buy some coffee, and all that money all goes to Shaley as well. And on that site as well, you will find the Paranormal Voice T-shirts. And as of right now, we told Craig that every time he sells one of our Paranormal Voice T-shirts, that all that money goes to the Class family, and we want to just keep up the fight. Shaley is a strong little girl. There's no doubt in our minds that she's going to kick this thing in the ass so freaking hard that Cancer's going to know that they messed with the wrong little girl. That is for sure. But
absolutely,
like I said, it was my idea, but at the same time, it was all about giving back to this little girl who is so special to her father, and I mean, and all the whole family. Like I said, as a parent, it's hard to watch your daughter or even your child go through anything like this. So the fight has just begun. I will not stop fighting for Shaley until Dan gives us the word that she is cancer free, or she is fought this thing to a point where it's no longer going to affect her health anymore. So, everybody, just you can head over to our Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube page. I don't know if I sent Richie the link or the YouTube or the QR code for it. I don't have it.
I didn't have any of that stuff. You could take your time and put it up right in the comments. I think if you copy.
I just put it on the screen there. I don't. Do you see it on your screen there, Richie?
Oh wait. Yeah, there we go.
Yep, there it is.
Here we go. Check it out, baby.
So if everybody wants to take a quick second, take a screenshot of this. Take a minute. Take your phones out. Put your cameras up to it. This will take you right to the GoFundMe page, and please donate to Shaley and the Class family, and most importantly, just send out a lot of love and a lot of positive vibes her way as she goes through her chemotherapy. Like I said, Dan posts, so go over to Dan Class on the Facebook page. That is KLAES and Daniel, and he updates everybody every day of her progress and what she's going through, good days, bad days, and you just get to see just how special this little girl is. And like I said, as for myself, I know what cancer did to my family, and I grew up with a father and a good friend of his who every year when I was growing up used to do Christmas for the cancer kids, and they used to buy Christmas presents for the cancer kids as well as all the siblings, and I used to see just how special that was. So in a way, doing what we did here with Shaley and KGRA to put this event together. And like I said, it might not be the last one. Like I said, if this is an ongoing thing, we might just have to just do another telethon. And I mean, we did very well. I think over the 6-hour period, I think we raised just a little over around $2,000 for her.
Nice.
I don't know how many T-shirts was sold, but I know the T-shirts have been flying off the shelves. So yeah, go over to rescue-dogs, that's DAWGZ.com, and pick yourself up a Shaley T-shirt. And when you do get it, we ask everybody, please post it on your social medias and tag the Paranormal Voice in it, or tag myself or Michael John, and so that we can see it. And this way here, we can post it on our walls as well. So this way, Shaylee can still see everybody who is supporting around the community and around the world. And like I said, I'm just truly blessed that I have amazing friends in the paranormal community, people who came together, even a couple of cancer survivors themselves, like MJ Dixon, a very beautiful paranormal investigator from the UK, great lady I call my friend very deeply, who was basically told that she was going to die, and she chose to fight, and she's still here with us today. And it just goes to show you that, you know, fighting will help, and just know that you should not give up. Cancer might be an ugly word, but it's not. It's definitely not the end. All you have to do is just keep fighting. And we have lots of people in our community who have battled cancer and have defeated cancer, and Shaylee is not going to be any different.
Absolutely, 100%, and we'll be sure to share that. And I'm gonna, I want to keep that up as when we do promos and things like that. So let's make sure we have that going forward as well. And if you do another we'll show that again at the end of the show as well. You do any kind of fundraisers like that at all, you know, you can call on us in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? And we'll be there, and we'll dig our heels in with you, bro. You're not alone, you know.
And we got her back.
Absolutely.
And the rest of the audience.
That's why I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody from the community who came together for that one day, 6 hours, and I won't lie, it was a very emotional, exhausting day. Like, I collapsed after that, and I'll tell you. But you know what? I would do 24 hours for that little girl, because I'll tell you, what she's going through is nothing compared to being up for 6 hours, being online for 6 hours, and doing something for 6 hours. Like I said, it's to show her that fighting is what is best. And God bless Dan and Colleen and the rest of the family who are right there supporting Shaylee. Like I said, Dan's a great guy. Anybody who's met Dan knows he's got a giant heart, and he's always wanted to step up for everybody else when other people are struggling and whatnot. So for the paranormal community to come back and to show him and the family just as much love as he's given out to the community. Like I said, it's great to see that there's positive people out here. I mean, the world is full of ugliness right now. We need a lot of good, uplifting stories and good people in the community. And I'll tell you, the paranormal community is one of the best places and the greatest place I could ever be. And the people that I consider friends, like I said, it's so blessing to know that people are there to fight with you and to show that, you know, there's good in this world. No matter how much ugly there is good in this world. And on July 13th, for the Shaylee Telethon, we showed the world that there's nothing but love in this world, and we have to continue that love.
Yep. Absolutely, and it's funny because, you know, we get caught up in what's shown to us in the big picture, and that's not the big picture. It's the big picture that you're staring at, and we have many pockets that equal one big united world, and we tend to forget that as people, because, you know, if I see a little lady broken down on the side of the road and she's trying to change a tire by herself, I stop, and most of the people that I know stop. So all that stuff you're being fed is bullshit. They want you to think that everything's negative. They want you to think that everybody's divided. It's not true. None of that's true, man. I know everybody on the side right now, and most of them I haven't met in person. I can guarantee you they would stop just along with me and make sure that elderly woman's tire was changed. One male or female, 100%. So don't go for that bullshit, man. That's why I tell everybody, climbing, you keep spreading the love. You keep being there for each other, right? And that's what we do. And it's just as contagious as this other shit goes on around the world. So we say, you know, we want everybody to know, let your friend Dan know, let his family know that the Banter Richie B family has our gloves on too, and we're going to throw some right hooks with her. So ain't nobody alone around here, man. That's the way it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what's up with that.
This is why I'm so blessed with saying that being a part of the podcast community has been such a positive thing, and to see that there is good people in this world, because like I said, you know, there's no room for it. You know, it's easier to be kind and to love one another than it is to bash and hate, because you know we're all in this together. This ride on Earth, we're in it together.
That's all energy.
So stop. So stop with the bullshit and just get back to stay in your own lane. That's the way I live life. Stay in my lane. You know.
That's right.
And if I see that broken down car on the side of the road, you're damn right. I'm stopping, because it ain't safe to be on the side of the road alone.
Exactly.
Hell no, we're in this together. So, I think on that note, what I want to do. Well, Michael Burkeen says, "What the heck?" I don't even know what that means. Well, what the heck? Like and subscribe to my YouTube. How's that? I took care of it. We're good now. So, check. That's why, Damien. That's why I love Paranormal. And has a story. Absolutely, man. It all has and Bigfoot story to tell too. You know, by the way.
Oh yeah, you can't live life without a good Bigfoot story. Not that I.
Dale, I have questions for you.
I have
questions for you. Well, when I spoke to you before about cryptids, what did you direct me to?
What did I direct you?
You remember? You directed me in a different direction. When I said, "Hey, cryptids," do you remember what you said to me?
I don't remember what I said to you, Richie. I say a lot of things.
You told me to talk to Michael John. That's what you told me.
Well, you know, that's usually as soon as the cryptid world comes up.
Yeah.
Michael John.
Yeah,
I mean, I love one cryptid in this world, and that is Mothman. And actually, I'm just finishing reading a book. It's called Messages from Mothman, written by Greg Lawson, a fantastic speaker, an amazing guy altogether. He just released a book. It's called Messages from Mothman, and the book is quite interesting. But to tell you the truth, Richie, like I do love Bigfoot. I mean, Bigfoot has been. I mean, it goes. I remember Bigfoot in cartoons like Scooby-Doo cartoons, and going back to even the Bionic Man. They had Bigfoot in the show back in the Bionic Man back in the day.
Andre the Giant.
Played by Andre the Giant. Absolutely.
Yep. Andre
but
the Giant.
you know, but
well, it's my show. Got it.
But for the most part, yeah, it's one of those. Bigfoot has always fascinated me, and that was something else. I did not realize that people actually go to the woods to actually look for Bigfoot. Would I love to do it? Absolutely. One day, I definitely have to get my butt off the couch and get out of haunted buildings and go wander around the woods like I used to do. Now, I'll tell you a kind of a funny story, and this just popped into my mind recently, was that I remember, I don't know if Michael John would actually remember this, but I remember we were both in cadets together, and we went on the survival weekend, and this was out in the middle of the cold. Now, I remember we were hunkered down in our tents. We had to make man-made shelters because we were survival. We weren't allowed to bring regular tents. We had a tarp, And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I remember something standing just outside of our tent, and I remember it. See, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I remembered this, but I remember somebody out there, and I kept I was trying to be quiet because I was thinking, well, what if it's like a sergeant or somebody who's trying to make sure we're asleep?
Right.
But I'm thinking it's too damn cold out there to be standing outside of somebody's tent. And this was up in an area. It's called Windsor Ontario, and but I remember that. I actually now I have to sit down and talk to Michael John about that if he actually, because he was in my bunk with me. So
Really? So who's dog? Who's not getting snoring on my show? You can't hear that? Yeah.
Oh, it's gotta be the puppy dog.
Friggin'
To this dog, every podcast, every time, this is my spot. And this dog just this is my friend's dog. Just always on the other side of this couch. And it's always snoring, but I'm surprised no one's ever said anything. I'm like, is anybody here snoring? Everyone's like, no, but now Richie goes, I hear snoring. I was dying inside, but I was like, is he talking about the dog?
Yeah,
She is loud.
Yeah.
Sorry, dear. I know it's not you. It's the dog.
I finally get a Bigfoot story out of Dale Quigley, and your friggin' dog is on.
I'm getting away from the stupid dog.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He's talking about sleeping in a tent, and he's emulating snoring noises. That's really fancy.
Anything can happen on the Richie B
now
show.
Wojo's outside. See, we've started.
Oh my friggin'! I'm not going outside. I'm just talking
dog number 2.
Oh god! Now we get to listen to the farts. Well, that's interesting, Dale. I didn't know you had any kind of a Bigfoot story.
Richie, it is quite amazing since I've actually started diving down into my subconscious mind and trying to remember things that have happened to me over my lifetime. And every time I kind of get into a deep meditation and think about something, experiences come back to me. And I just remembered that. And I remember that person standing outside of our tent, or shelter, I should say, because it wasn't really a tent. But I always remember that. So now I have to kind of.
How old were you? How old were you when this happened?
So I was in cadets. So I was. I would say I was I was definitely a teenager.
Yeah.
So you're in your teens, and you guys are bunked out, and you got a top tent made up, and there's a creature, something standing over you. I mean, it'd be a weird. I mean, it could be anything else. What time in the morning? What time of night you think this? Midnight, 1 o'clock.
This would have probably been around. I would say anywhere between probably 11 at night and I would say maybe 2 o'clock in the morning.
Did it make any noise?
I could hear like a heavy. I remember hearing like a heavy deep breath, like somebody was just after they've run a marathon or something. But if anybody's ever heard like a bear just breathe, it kind of sounds. Yeah. It sounded something similar to that.
Yeah, I go Bigfoot with Wojo. I hear bear breathe all the time. Trust me. I'm just saying. I mean, if we're gonna compare things, to be fair, you know what I mean?
So Dale, like the size of the shadow, like I mean, can you describe like
Well, there wasn't
Like
very much light because there was. We were out in the middle of the woods, so there was very the only light we would have had was the light from the moon. Um, so I really couldn't see shadow, but it just it just I had a very weird vibe off of it. Like
yeah,
that's why I was kind of trying to stay quiet and
strange
not
energy?
say anything. But I do remember. But it was just like a bear, like a bear trying to. And I mean, it could be a bear because I mean we're out in the woods, we're in Ipperwash. You know, bears are very common in that area, but at the same time, uh, from actually talking to or having guests like Mike Patterson on our show from Sasquatch, Ontario. I mean, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings up and around that area, so it's like anything is possible. I don't know 100% because, like I said, it was so pitch dark out there that, but it was so cold at the same time because we were that weekend. It was like in the negative temperature range. Like we were probably at like a -10.
Wow.
During the night, so
Yeah.
we were all in our sleeping bags. You know, it's like nobody would just be standing outside your tent, especially for a long period of time. And I remember this lasted several minutes. Like it felt like a long time to me, but in reality, it could have been just a few minutes.
Right.
But like I said, you would think they would listen and then move on to do, but. You know, and back then I never even thought about it waking up the next morning if I should have looked around the tent for footprints. But I just woke up the next morning and the only thing I could think of is run to the closest outhouse so I could pee.
Not me. I'm just peeing. So some of the things that we've been out lately for, we've been in this area that's been very hot where we've gotten this print here. My first clumpy ass print, but it's still my first. We got that one in this location. Now you see up on the screen, we've been finding these. We always find structures, weird different types of things that nature can't explain. And that's the thing I always like to bring up. And now, but my new thing on my show is whether you're paranormal, card reader, dream interpreter, medium, psychic, I don't care. I want to bring some Bigfoot stuff into your life because I want to inspire those hiking boots to get thrown on, you know? So this particular area here that you see on the screen is local to this print and this heel. This just a heel. The rest is just spread out me trying to get more evidence, but see the size of that heel, dude? Wow. That's as big as your head, Richie. Yeah, well, I got a pretty big head, but thank you, though. So yeah, if you go on, I have a 3D scan of this particular print. I don't even know if it's in here. This is a new evidence batch. So, wow. But this here is measured around 5 inches, right? When we started the decision to scan it actually came with part of the help from Wojo, where I measured hail, and his hail was like what 3 1/4, we said, or something like that, that close. Yep. And this hail's like 5, like wow. That's big. You know what I mean? So like say, let's see, I don't know, I got this mouse right here. You know what I mean? You see this size, like you could just the thing's huge. You know what I mean? So that's one of the. So that was found in the area of these structured areas as well. But if you look at this crazy ass thing, I've never seen this. It's almost like they're stacked, like building a wall, right? And you see all the loose stuff that's kind of holding them in place. But the key to the picture, and a lot of people don't realize that, the key to this picture is behind it. There's nothing wrong with those woods.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Natural. I was gonna say the rest of the woods look pretty good, And I noticed how it's got like branches like X'd out and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I've been learning a lot about Bigfoot research and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a huge fan of watching Expedition Bigfoot with Ronnie LeBlanc.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he's been doing Bigfoot researcher as long as like for years and years. And like I said, he explains like how they do this. It's like a warning symbol, or you know, it's like areas to let people know like you shouldn't be going in there, and this is how people are and why not build a wall, because that seems to keep people out, but people would look at that.
I've seen that.
That is absolutely amazing, though.
Yeah, to be fair, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this, and we just found this really with Steve and Lisa and the new Boots on the Ground Bigfoot crew, and this one's different, man. I don't know, it was very weird, you know, and I think they mean a bunch of different things. You know what I mean? So to me, that's a funnel with a spot of yeah. So right, well, there's a lot of that too, Henry, and that's one of the things we find is a lot of like different corrals, we call them, where they're shaped like arrows, and there's always deer scat along them, but the trees are up off the ground a little bit, like waist high, so to speak, right? And they walk down, and then they have to stop and think, and then boom, you know what I mean? So a lot of these have to do with gathering game. So it's not just about what they mean. There's a lot of stay outs. I'll give you an example. That typically would mean stay out, right?
Right.
So like don't, you know, so what do me and Wojo do? We go in. So as soon as someone said stay out, we're like, whee! We go running in. And and that's the beautiful part of investigating is that once you cross over to that other side, we tend to find a lot more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know what the front is and what the back is, but I know where I came from and what was there compared to if I go on the other side. If there's more, then I know where I came from was not it. It's over there. So that's where we tend to find a lot of things. You know what I mean? What's it say? Small enough to let. Yeah. So. Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's a great observation from Henry. And I hope to think that we all kind of participate in these things together and pick up on these things together, right, Henry? Like when we're out there doing this stuff, we have these conversations. So if you don't know what we do, and I know you do, we go live on YouTube and we bring everybody with us, right? And you can click the notify button and know when we're doing live investigations, right? Have you ever done anything like that paranormally? I know a lot of people do, but I don't know if they do the raw, unedited download. Here you go. This is what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have done lives from locations and stuff like that. Just because, I mean, when you're using a camera and you're streaming something live, you never know what's going to happen and what evidence might make itself known while you're doing a live stream. But unfortunately, a lot of locations we go into, the signals are not very well, so it gets very choppy at times. But you know, I'm usually whenever I am at a location, like my son, he actually did that whole reenactment thing from OSR. It was streamed live on his Instagram page.
Oh wow!
As it was happening, and
cool.
He said people were chiming in, going, "What the hell is going on over there?" Because it sounds like somebody's getting murdered.
Yeah, no.
One of our investigations, we had the hoops. The whoops in the background.
We did, and Sam's Pretty Paranormal was there.
Yep.
And
you know, people from the audience heard that. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
No, she had heard. She had mentioned how she had headphones on. She could hear the stuff behind us. You know what I mean? So, and reassured us that it wasn't a dog. I knew it wasn't a dog right off the bat, just by the way the rhythm of the sound came, plus our location. It was crazy, man. And then when you play it back, you can really hear it. And it's more like a woo, 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 like. And I've heard it before with juvenile Sasquatches. I've had reports of that from my first wife and our old property together. That we own the property together, and she was a complete skeptic. Everything I told her was out back. She was like, "Oh, that's a deer. Oh, that's a cat." And I'm like, "No, you're not hearing me." And then finally one day she got to experience it, and then called me up freaking out. So that was beautiful. I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah." Oh, that's nice. Oh, that was a Fisher cat. You know what I mean? So while she was shitting her pants, you know, so that was pretty cool, you know. But yeah, no, that's nice. And
I have to agree with Damien. He says his best experience has been when no cameras are on, just sitting
100%.
Some of the best experiences that I have had is when there was 100%. No cameras going at all.
Can't argue that. Yep, that's what I heard. The samurai chatter that we heard. No electronics, and we were leaving. They were in my head was in my backpack, and I was leaving. Backpack was off to the side. I just loaded it. I had a phone in my hoodie, and I reached for it, and then went either I'm dead or I'm going to run the moment, and I let it happen. I had two other investigators experiencing it with me, and that's all I needed. It was a personal experience. That's all it'll ever be, but it was one of the most magical experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And like Crystal Panic said to me, she goes, "To me, Rich, that would make me a 100% believer if I heard that." And just as good as viewing. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing one.
Absolutely, you know? But you know, I truly believe, and this is something that I live by, is some of the most best evidence happens right with no cameras on. But I think those are experiences were just made for you, and these are the types 100%. Of things. You know, they were never meant to be recorded. They were not meant to be heard or seen by too many people. That I believe each one of us in the paranormal field, whatever it is we're doing, we're out there looking for Bigfoot, we're out there looking for aliens, we're out there looking for ghosts, we're out there looking for the magical unicorns, whatever it is in the paranormal field that you are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Some experiences come to us and they're meant just for us. And
I agree.
Those are the best experiences because it's not something you have to prove. It's just them showing you this is how we respect you. We're going to show you something that we're not willing to show anybody else. And I take that and I hold it close to my heart because you know what? Every experience is different. Everybody experiences everything different. You could have a room full of people. A paranormal experience can happen and everybody will still have a different experience, even though you're all in the same room together.
Oh, 100%. And I've been part of that because remember, I come from the paranormal community. That's where I came from. And when I investigate, I use paranormal tactics, techniques, tactics, however you want to say them, based to validate stuff like that, you know?
Yep.
I'm looking for Britney Spears in her prime. I don't know. Yeah, talk to your therapist, Ron.
Oh, God.
Good luck, Ronald. But no, I've done that as well. You say I believe in that, and a lot of the experiences I've had, like you know, and one of the biggest things I've been saying, like I've been trying to explain to people because it's like the paranormal world, and you know this. You get, we used to take a picture, right? And I know orbs are controversial, but I've gotten a lot of things out of them. So I've been taking a picture in the cemetery. We took a picture of an orb. I said, "Hey, I got something on the screen." Someone grabbed the EVP recorder. I know it's that area. We started recording. We started asking questions. We got an EVP that said, "Get out." And it was very angry manner. You know what I mean? And we did. We got together. We did a prayer circle, St. Michael the Archangel. My niece's husband said to me, thought I was being funny and was like, "Yeah, funny, Uncle Rich." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Grab my ass," you know? I'm like, "I didn't grab your ass, you weirdo. We're in a friggin' circle. I'm not going to grab ass in a spiritual circle. I know my place, you know?" Sure enough, we got home and he was scratched from the back down past his butt cheek to his hamstring area. So my point is, we saw the orb in the screen. We did the EVP. We did the circle and had a physical response, right? So now I brought that into Bigfooting. So this area here, we have this area here. We find the footprint, right? 75 feet from the footprint, Wojo goes wandering off, and what we deem as natural shelters that have been made into shelters for the big guy, right? Well, out in front of those shelters, now 75 feet from the footprint, the shelters, out in front of the shelter, I look down and I find a shattered, broken, what I assume to be a deer leg. It is shattered. This thing is fractured all the way down. It is broken, shared off, and as Henry said, communicating with our crew, it's like, hey, check that thing for bone marrow. Empty, no bone marrow, gone. So what they believe is that they pick it out and they eat it, basically. So now that heel was found when we went back right next to one of the shelters.
Yeah.
Right. So now I have 1, 2, the heel, 3, and then what we deem as a shelter now makes it more valid because we found all these other pieces of evidence. You put it together and you have a better piece of evidence, right?
Yep.
Right. So, but I walk up to somebody now and I go, "Wow, in this area here, I found this X, and then I found this, and then we found this, and then we found that, and then we found this, and then we found that." Well, guess what? Now we could have a conversation to even the naysayers. You know what I mean? Same with.
Absolutely. I mean, it's what you guys are out there doing, and doing all the legwork. I mean, these are experiences that you guys have, and it's hard to deny when you find shattered bones. Like, what are shattered bones doing out in the middle of the woods? I mean, animals that died, but their bones don't shatter when they die.
Right.
Of
well, we don't have animals here that. We don't have animals here that just break bones. We might have an occasional bear that ends up on the news because they're like, oh, little Yo's running across the Smith's yard again. That's what it is. People want to say, oh, you have bear down there. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't lie. Stop lying. Stop. That's bullshit. There's like 1, 2, and everybody's like, oh, he's so cute. You just let him live his life. You know what I mean? Like that's the Facebook crap. Not like when you go up to New Hampshire and it's like a way of life because you got to stop when you go up to the backyard because there's bear running around everywhere. That ain't what we have here. And I've never heard of a bear just shattering bones and sucking marrow out of it. All right? I don't get it.
In more than one area too, Dale, too. That's the thing. We're finding bones in different spots. And just to add the number to Richie, will be number 3. We found another footprint in those huts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 4, in the 4th one, we're still finding deer going through that through that area after seeing bones, after seeing footprints. I mean, it's active.
Oh, there's one more. So this is the natural. This is the natural area here. That's natural growth. But manipulate it. They'll break trees and put it on top. So the trees don't grow up, that they continue to grow like this.
Right.
Because there's a tree. But look at that opening, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that opening. You can sit right in there and wait and ambush. And that's the one we found the 17-inch compost print in that I have pictures of as well. It's been up on my TikTok.
Wow. And Richie, I noticed that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, after you, sir.
Oh, no, I was saying, so where this area is, on the other side of it is when we cast the footprint. As you walk out, there's a similar area like this, the same type of, trees and what have you. And it's like a moat. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it as we're walking out, and I pointed out, I go, yeah, but look over here. Not even manipulated, nothing. It's like in its natural state. It's like straight up. Whatever. It's not like bent over like what you're seeing right here. where it's coming from the left or the right. It's converging into like some sort of like, a hideout of some sort, I find that like fascinating because you have a same area, like looking at this area, there's another area that looks just like it, and it wasn't even touched.
Yep, exactly. And this ain't the only area that we found this in. This is like four locations now that we found something very similar to this.
Dale,
So
this is a very tiny area.
So I was just gonna say, like, when you guys go out now, do you guys like have a grid that you guys follow? Like, okay, we did a lot of research here. Now let's move over to this area. Do you guys like keep track of where you guys have already been compared to where you guys are going? And so this way here, you're kind of opening your you're sniffing out the whole area, right? Until you can find like common similarities. Like, is this like just one family of Bigfoot that's doing this, or is there like several out there, but they're all in like the different parts of the area you guys are investigating in?
So to answer that question, which is a great question, this is my show though, Dale. I asked the question.
Keep me on your toes there, Richie.
What? Watch my past shows. That's a pet peeve of mine. No, I'm just. Look at Sean Kelly showing up. What's up, my man? Richie B.
Hey.
The Vogel brothers will be on Sean Kelly's show Into the Night this Tuesday at 8 p.m. The same show we were on, and rock the world.
105.3.
Well, that's right, Jim. It's 105.3 UPRN Louisiana. Be there Tuesday night at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Back to you, Bob.
Oh, one last thing, Rich. I forgot to tell you.
No, gotta answer his question.
Tom Brady's still the best. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, Tom Brady's still the best, Sean. Sorry. So what we do is when we go into these places, so I'll go out, a lot of times I'll take a picture of the whole area so I know. So we essentially have to go back we started from. We have to go back to where we were the week prior. That's where our investigation starts, and then we can move to unknown areas. But you have to go back. This is what happened here. We talk about it on the way in. We're like, listen, let's go back. Full crapola. That's not even a word in Massachusetts, sir. Some kind of Pittsburgh PA mojumbo. So we are talking with Mike Trainer, who's a member of ours as well for Boots on the Ground. He's the map guy. He loves maps. So we mark them off, but we have pins that we put in our phones right now. So you drop a pin, drop a pin, drop a pin. But we'll discuss on the way in. I say, listen, we got to go back to where we got the print. We have to go back to where we got the print, and then we can work our way around this way. And we're like, okay, then we agree to that. So we like to go back to where there's other area. This area was hot. We got over there. We took the print. We got over there again. There's a whole different tree hanging down that wasn't there before. We got it on picture. That tree not broken and dangling. It was this time. We were there, 7 to 10 days prior. It's not that long before. There are no storms. There's no wind. You can see and talk about the magic whirlwind to me all you want. We researched this correctly. We keep records of this area. We keep pictures of this area. So if you tell me in 7 to 10 days, Magic Whirlwind came in and was, let's attack that one branch that they just so happened to be last week and get it, Jim. Yeah, back to you, Bob. F you. So I'm not buying it. Okay? So then we go back, and now there's a 5-inch wide hill sitting in the path of where this print was, coming over to the huts that we suspect are huts, what you're looking at on the screen. And now there's a 5-inch hill that I 3D scanned and casted. If that ain't doing your due diligence, I don't know what the frig is. And if that ain't coming by and, like you're saying, hit that area, right? Know where you were and then continue on somewhere else. And you might not get as much as you want each time because it depends on the evidence you have to the investigation prior.
Right.
So this area took an extra 45 to an hour. We didn't just walk through and go up nothing and keep going, right? So great question. Absolutely. but you gotta backtrack, gotta go check, because you can't tell nobody nothing if you didn't go check.
Well, also too, I mean, like you just said, Richie, it shows you guys where the hot spots area are, where most of them are hanging out and stuff like that. And that's like, even in the paranormal world, not every part of the house is haunted. It just seems to be located in certain areas of the house. You know, so you got to find out where the hot spots are all the time, because this is the one thing, because they always seem to come back. So the further you go, there's nothing out here. Okay, so it's either they're not coming out here, or it's just they're not leaving the evidence, so we could trace it back to up to a mile or two away from this structure that you're showing. Will show you an area of where they're comfortably living, because this is where they're less likely to be noticed. There's probably a lot of huge food source coming through there. And like you said, it seemed like the perfect area. They had a lot of shelter, so they could hide away from anybody walking through the woods. And as far as we know, like, Bigfoot creatures are very good at cloaking themselves, so that even if you walked right by them, you wouldn't know it, because you can't see them.
A lot of times, I've been grabbed at what I estimate 50 yards and couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And I've gone back to the video and enlarged it. All it does is pixelate. I'm like, how did I not see that thing? It was absolutely nuts. So I believe, maybe not in the sense of the cloaking, where everybody talks about, like interdimensional and all that. And again, I don't boo-hoo nobody's opinion, theories, thoughts, experiences, none of that stuff. All of it's possible. We don't know jack diddly shit like we want to pretend we do. We're all just investigating in our own way. And in the long run, a combination of all of it is what's going to be the end game here. So everybody just keep coming and doing what they're supposed to be doing,
Absolutely, and I cannot agree with you more, Richie. There is no such thing as an expert in any type of field whatsoever, especially when you get into the paranormal umbrella. There is no experts in this. There's people that have been doing it a lot longer, absolutely. But you know what? It's what they're doing is they're sharing their experiences, things that they've experienced, things that have happened to them, ways that they've been able to branch out and be able to get results. And every form of the paranormal investigations research should be held the same way. It doesn't matter if you're looking for Bigfoot, aliens, whatever you're looking for. Anybody who calls himself an expert, for one, is full of crap, because I'll tell you, people who I think should be considered experts, like John Zaffis, will still tell you he's not an expert.
He's not an expert.
The guy grew up in the paranormal field. His uncle is one of the most famous paranormal investigators of all times, and that is Ed Warren. So, I mean, if anybody deserves to call themselves an expert, it would be that gentleman. But he does not consider himself an expert, because he's just doing the research of how he was showing things, but also things he's learned over the years from working with other people. And that is the key. Work with other people. If we all just put our little piece of information together, we would get closer to the answers. But I still don't believe, no matter in this lifetime, we will never know 100% if Bigfoot truly does exist. And I do believe he does exist, just like I believe ghosts exist, just like I believe aliens exist. Why? How can millions and millions of people who have had experiences be wrong? It is their experience. It is what they experienced. It's what they went through. Does that, just because you are a non-believer, does not make it right for you to say, well, I think it's just all in your head. No, because truly to believe, my imagination is not that good. My imagination would be seeing pretty hot girls running around everywhere in bikinis. That's the extent of my imagination.
Well, hey.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That
But
sounds.
if I'm gonna picture a craft coming out of the sky, my imagination is not that good. If I see a 10-foot hairy creature running through the woods, my imagination is not that good because that's the last thing I'm going to be picturing. Running through the woods is a 10-foot creature covered in hair.
Yep. Yeah, it's a
what's
lot.
bizarre
It's a
too,
lot
Dale,
to,
is okay, Rich.
lot to grasp. No, it's a lot to grasp. Ronnie, there is theories of cloaking with predator and also cloaking with Mother Nature. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Woj.
Roddy, Jesus. No, as I was saying, is that when people do have the stories, and you have these people that the non-believers that just right off the bat, like they just don't want to believe.
Right.
And it's like, well, then how can again with what you just said, I totally agree. Like these people just don't want to hear it. They want to know, well, how come it's like Bigfoot's supposed to be running around, I don't know, with I don't know, a Batman Speedo or something. Like he's supposed to be around. How come we don't see him? Well, do you really think that these creatures, if they are, which I believe that they are out there, but they're not going to reveal themselves all the time? And why would you say, I don't believe you?
Right.
And you tell me why you don't believe me.
Right.
Or believe you, or believe Richie, because they're too busy sitting on their fat ass on the couch, on their computer, and just like doubting every little, every person around the country about everything. Jeez. Richie, keep your hands to yourself. No, it just pisses me off when people just sit there and just like it be lazy. This is why guys like you and Michael John get out there, do put your shoes on. Yep. Let's go, do an investigation. Me and Richie, let's put the boots on, get in the woods. And this is why we take pictures. We go back to the same areas. And also, when Richie was away, I go, listen, I'm going to bring two dear friends of mine, whatever. He goes, well, do me a favor. Go back to where we first started, where we first heard the whoops and whatever. Check out that area. Well, I checked out that area. And there was this like a 30 tight foot arch that was like wedged between trees, shattered, gone. The whole forest changed.
It did.
There's like letter X's, everything. Now I go, Richie, you're not going to, I'm calling him on the phone. Dude, there's like more arches, more everything. And it's just like, it's like they trashed the place, but it's like ruining an art picture, and they just built another one. And that's what goes on, because if you don't go back, you're not going to see that they're active. That evidence is not.
Yeah, 100%. Wojo nailed it, absolutely. And I got proof just with the dream catcher. We got two photos that we've made. One when the dream was good, the suspended tree was good. We did it again a couple later. I think it was 21 compared to 24, and that dream catcher is absolutely smashed to bits. And I'm simulating the same picture. They take it down and they make it again, or they make something else again, or it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world that we get to live in as South investigators, man. I think the last couple of years. Okay.
But if I could just put in my theory of the whole Bigfoot, or
that's what you're here for, sir.
I believe this. The reason why they are the hardest creatures on Earth to find is because if we did find them, we would have idiots making them extinct, like every other creature we have.
Humans fuck shit up.
How many times have I gone hiking through the woods and not even seen a freaking deer? But yet, how many deer live in the woods?
Many.
It's hard not to see a creature in its natural habitat. But this is where I think big feet, the creatures are the most highly intelligent creatures ever to exist. Mm-hmm. If they can elude being seen or being caught in any way, it tells me that there is something going on. And it's, people say it was, why have we've never found a dead Bigfoot? Well, obviously there's a reason for it, because that people would just take the body and start doing to it when it doesn't need to be done to it. It actually has to go somewhere. Do these creatures live for eternity? Well, we don't know that because we've never found a dead one. But I have theories on that. The fact is that I believe Bigfoot and the alien community are working together, and that whenever one does die, that it comes, it takes the body away and brings it to another place to be rest.
Wow, damn Quigley. I didn't see it coming. Did you, Wojo? Huh?
I was blown away.
He just gave me a chin. He was like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Richie, do you think I just sit here all the time looking pretty? I'm a man who studies a lot and researches everything.
That's right. And you know what? I applaud you for that. And you know what? And I value anybody's opinion. But you know, another thing that what me and Richie studied on is that they're finding large stones. You have large, giant heads in bodies that are being buried all across the country that no one knows, and no one doesn't want to talk about. And it's happening everywhere across the world. Giant heads, 10 feet tall, bones with these large stones like Mason. It looked like Mason. The Vieira brothers. You ever heard of the Vieira brothers?
The name does not strike me.
What's that, Rich?
They had a show on the History Channel. America's ancient giants in America, basically. They're stonemasons from Western Mass, and they followed the trails because they didn't understand how these stones kept getting placed when you had to have cranes, and there were no cranes back then. Do you know what I mean? So they started following, and they found over 1,500 sites with giants' bones in them. Not giant bones. The giant's bones. So it's a thing. Yeah. It's
and
real.
These structures are fascinating, Dale. Not only that, they even found large structures, just like the ones that you find all over the world on land in the bottom of Lake Michigan.
Yes.
I know in the Ohio area, for people that follow 222 Paranormal Podcast, Joe and his sister Jennifer. Now, Joe, I mean, sitting down with him, he's really into the whole giant thing. And I guess up in the Ohio area, they found like a lot of these giant bones. And I mean, without a doubt, I mean, creature like metaphysical or not metaphysical creatures like that probably did exist. And I mean, for one reason, same reason why we don't see dinosaurs walking down our street nowadays. Life has cycles, and their life cycle has ended. And giants, because structures that how did they build that back in a time period when they did not have machines? Like if you go back and you actually look at Stonehenge and how that is built, it's like it blows my mind on how that had to be put together, because back when that structure was built, there was no such thing as machinery. So how did they get these 200-ton stones to stack up like that? It is something had to pick that up.
You're not telling me that sticks and ropes and about 100 people lifted that up? No way.
Yeah.
No, you got our people going. You got our people going with the Giants. The Giants always get them fired up. I'm telling you, man. We're just missing Claude wherever you are. Wow. I know, it's big enough to ride, so he walked. Andre the Giant was huge. Nature has a way. So my thing is this.
If you guys are ever doing a show on Giants, though, reach out to Joe Shortage from Paranormal 222. Like that guy is so knowledgeable about the whole giant stuff. He is absolutely amazing.
Well, why don't you reach out to him for us and tell him we're going to do a show with him?
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to make that connection with you guys.
And one last thing.
No last things. Ever. I think giants were human, though. I don't think they were creatures. I think they were humans because everything was bigger back then, from the plants to the insects to the geese to the dinosaurs to the elephants. Why not humans? Why weren't we bigger? Why were we these little people with little toothpicks? Come on, man, that's crazy.
And why don't you just tell me how can they not exist?
Right.
These so-called giants, these so-called Bigfoots. I like to know that these people, the people that are out there, tell us why they don't exist.
Sam.
Oh, Sam, I just put 2 racks in my refrigerator for tomorrow. Anyways, but yeah, that's the thing. It's that they weren't. How do we know if they were ever extinct or they exist or whatever? It's just
everything on this planet has existed for a period of time, and I mean just like us as we are today. The human race is not going to last forever. I mean, I'm not going to say the world is ending tomorrow, but at the same time, it's the whole revolution of how life is, and
it is. Yep.
It's
true.
Is any of it fake? No, there has to. If you're finding these big giant bones, it's like, what, somebody just get bored one day and thought, hey, let's bury a whole bunch of big bones and create them. But obviously they're finding them and they must mean something. And I believe, like Wojo, that they were human looking and not anything else. I mean,
right. But also, I'm wrong because you beat me to the point that in the Bible they talk about these large Nephilims. Giants have been around since back in the biblical times. So why can't there be, big, large creatures or big, large people, and but no one. But again, no one, just doesn't want to believe.
Right, and I think a little bit of it is because they're scared to open up their minds enough to believe in anything that they cannot physically see, touch, or hear. Now, when you get into the paranormal side, there is all of that. If you would just go out there and be a part of it, you can smell the paranormal, because people have often said that, like, even in the woods, it's like the smell that a Bigfoot gives off, they said it's kind of similar to a wet dog smell. Now,
never had it.
Have I ever experienced it? No. But at the same time, I've been in a haunted house, and for some reason, all of a sudden, it smells like 1,000 spoiled, rotten eggs all of a sudden came out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, where's the smell coming from? Because it wasn't here for the last 3 hours. And why does it smell like this? So there goes your smell. As for touch, I get touched a lot when I'm on investigations. Why? Because I ask of it. Because I feel that if it touches me, it can use some of my energy to be able to give me more answers and more proof of who they are and why are they still here.
Yep.
But as for people that don't believe, I just think they're afraid to actually acknowledge that we are not alone on this earth, that there's creatures, there are entities, and there are things that we just cannot explain, which basically sums up the paranormal by a scientific method, or scientific theory is, if you can't explain it through science, then it's got to be paranormal. And that's basically what it is.
Yep. 100%. Sorry, when I pull something in the StreamYard, you know how it is. It pops right up. So, no, 100%. And I think a lot of people that don't believe, if you notice, like I have a lot of friends that don't believe in this and don't believe in it. They're so caught up in the human. They're so caught up in the race. They're so caught up in the what's in front of them, the money. It doesn't make them bad people. That's just where they are. You know what I mean? And I got friends I love dearly, and they think I'm fucking nuts. And I'm like, dude, you need to put down your credit card, park your Mercedes, go out into the fucking woods, or go out to a haunted house and find out for yourself. Because I'm not expecting you to believe in anything I believe in. We've just been in different places for pretty much different realms. I mean, I've been in different realms compared to other people, the shit I've seen in my fucking life. You know what I mean? So, and I'm blessed for that. I feel that I'm closer to when I going to heaven because of the knowledge that I actually have. I think you come back and figure it out and keep going till you get to my level. Sorry, get on my level, fool. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at. But that's all right. That's me and my spiritual beliefs. Nobody else has to believe what I believe. Doesn't make me better than anyone. Just means I've been here more times than you. That's all that means. I mean, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
But we are put on this earth to have experiences. We are driven by experiences, and if you limit yourself to what experiences you want, then those experiences will be just that. Not to say that the people that don't believe are wrong, but at the same time, it's just the fact that they don't want to open themselves up to have any other different experiences than what it's like to drive around in a Mercedes or go out and have nothing but fancy steak dinners all the time. You know what?
That's where they're at.
How about taking a piece of bologna, putting it in your frying pan and frying it up and
so
eat that? Because, you know, like I said, now that's an experience.
Oh, it's so good. Roll it up with pickles, man.
But people who jump in there and automatically assume that what you've experienced is not really true.
Mm-hmm.
How I tell people is this: well, I was there. Were you? And that's that. This is my experience. This is how I see my experience. This is how I think about my experience. Do I know what it's like to ride around on a Mercedes Benz? Absolutely not. Do I want to experience? Maybe. But it's not my first choice. I'd rather be in a nice Jeep.
I got an 86 Mustang convertible. You can come up and go cruising with me in. 1986 Mustang convertible.
A nice.
Oh, you asked him.
car.
You never even invited me in on that ride of that beautiful Mustang.
See, this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing. I pictured Richie driving around in one of these vehicles that have no roof, no doors, nothing on it. Now he's got no roof, but he's got doors.
Loud horns and squeaky wheels.
Yep. Ronnie says he just had pepperoni sauce mushrooms on a New York style pizza. It was quite. Thank you, Ronald. Appreciate that. Hope you feel good about this stuff.
Wow, no mushrooms.
You're happy. No, well, I think he said mushrooms. Yeah, there's mushrooms. He said mushrooms.
What? No pineapple on that pizza? What?
Don't start your shit, Dale.
Hawaiian.
So listen up, everybody. We now have a show that comes up behind us at 8 o'clock, the Animal Paranormal Podcast on the Get Haunted Network. And you know how this works. Anybody can go on there at any time and choose what they want to watch. I just don't want to do that to him. I want you guys to jump from him and go check out his show. And we're going to do that every Saturday. We're going to collaborate, actually. He's going to be on our show, probably on a Saturday. We're going to flip-flop and come back to him. We might even do cross stories, and we were talking about doing a show on the Giants on my show. And then if you want the conclusion of the story, you have to jump at 8 o'clock to join us on his show. So things like that and kicking around that we're going to do. We're going to have fun with that. We're the only two shows on Saturday, and I don't want to piss in his Wheaties. So I want to make sure that we're respectful and everybody give them the stage, right? Right? You know how this works, right? So check it out. So buy the merch because that guy said so. And September 14th, 2024, big announcement. We're no longer just an event. We're broadcasting. We are part of this event now. You will see us podcasting live from this event, the Massachusetts Cryptid Fest 2024, created, brought up, and funded by Alan Carlozzi. September 14th, 2024, 1 to 6 over in Rainham, next town over. I can't believe I got to go right there. It's going to be crazy, man. Setting up the tent, the banner, the microphone. What's up? We're doing the whole thing, man. And we are bringing boots on the ground, Bigfoot investigators, as many as we can compile to one spot and just raise some hell, man. We're going to have some fun. We are super pumped about this. More importantly, from the bottom of my heart, I ask you, please keep this QR code, share it on your social media. If you cannot give a dollar or a dime, that's okay. No one needs to know. You could just share that QR code and just show it to your friends that can. Maybe they could share it and keep sharing it and keep sharing it, right? Give that family some breathing room, please. We will continue to help Shaylee in any way we can. We will share it, the QR code, on a weekly basis. So if you don't have a dollar this week, maybe next we will. So please continue to show everybody that there is hope in this world, and there is love and happiness and kindness in this world. That's why I've always said, man, even about the simplest thing as minuscule as researching of any kind of shit on each other. I've always said that from day one. You can look it up. It's on the internet. It's got to be true, right? That's why I always tell you to keep climbing. Always tell you to keep climbing. This is we climb, man. We help each other out, right, Dale? I love you, bro.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, if you can afford a coffee, you can afford to donate $1.
$1. That's all we're looking for. Dale, where can everybody find you and your kick-ass friends at?
All right, you can find the Paranormal Voice. We do not have a particular date, but just go over to our Facebook page, subscribe to our Facebook page. That is the Paranormal Voice, Windsor Ontario Zone, or just click over to our YouTube channel, the Paranormal Voice on YouTube, and you can find us on KGRA Digital Media. That we are on every Saturday. A brand new episode drops every Saturday night at 1 a.m. on KGRA, and it's on all digital media platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find KGRA on there, and just go and you will find us in their featured section. So check us out. We look forward. We are going to be up at the MI Paracon coming up August 22nd to the 25th. If you are in the Michigan area or anywhere in this world, MI Paracon is definitely the place to be August 22nd. It is the WrestleMania Paracon, as me and Michael John like to talk about it. So that's where we are going to be next, coming up in just a few short weeks. And we hope to see everybody there. The Paranormal Voice is going to be there along with everybody in the paranormal community as well. So come on down, join us, and we are going to be having a lot of fun.
Let me tell you something, brother. What are you going to do? Right? Something like that? How's that? Good?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. I was just working on that. Thank you. Wojo, what do you got to say for yourself over there? Anything? Go on, say something.
Say something. What you going to do when me and Richie and Dale, when we all kick ass for Shaylee, come down on cancel? Boom.
There we go.
Knock it down. Boom.
Oh. Yeah, buddy. Awesome, man. Listen, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, like and subscribe, YouTube, that notify button, because we're going live into the woods, and you can be part of the investigation, unedited, raw, coming back at you, right? Next Saturday, we're going to have some of our crew in here, some of our new crew members, hopefully, if they agree to it. They'll be fine. They're coming. I don't care. All of us are coming. We're going to do some investigations between here and there, and we're going to share with you next Saturday night. In the meantime, get us over to Animal Podcast right now. Kick it offline. We got to go and take it up this time. Jesus, what are we going to do here? Quick one. Say
strong, baby.
And say the other magic words. Hurry, we got to go.
Keep climbing. Boom.
Buy the merch, kids at Meathead.
Oh, yeah. Bye.